Good evening, everyone. My name is Dean Mannheimer. It's my pleasure to be able to share with you tonight what I call the DubLi story. Tonight's presentation is designed to give those of you that are with us this evening an overview, a general idea of what the DubLi business model looks like. Now, there's some assumptions I make in that each of you that are here have had the opportunity by whoever invited you on the presentation to have had a full view of what the offering is to the public. In other words, what DubLi.com, that's the retail side of our business, offers the public. Because to us, that is the most important piece in terms of a business. I'm going to explain that to you here in a moment. But I'm going to hit the high points on the retail side of our business. But the purpose and the general idea for tonight's presentation is to give you that overview on the business model itself. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to give you a little bit of history about the company, because I think when you evaluate a business model, it's important to understand how long has this company been in business, what have they done to go through what they needed to go through to get to where they're at today. Number two is the people that are behind the scenes. Who's guiding the company? Who's the brainchild? What kind of management do they have? And number three is really what's the offering to the public, because that is the most important piece. It is what will drive residual income, and that is what you need to have to sustain any business, no matter what you do. So let's begin, first of all, with a little bit of history. Now, the timeline here with DubLi is very important. They were founded in June of '03. Now, they went from 2003 to 2006, that's 3 years, not generating a single dollar in sales. All they did was spend money because everything about the model needed to be built from the ground up. From the software development, the coding, the people that needed to be hired, the training that needed to be done, relationships put together, contracts negotiated. And in 2006, they felt good enough about where they were at that particular point that they did a test in 4 German-speaking countries in Denmark. Now, they ran that test for 2 more years. Now, that brings them to 2008. They did some modifications, some enhancements to the model, and in 2008, they felt good enough at that point that they launched all of what is called the EU simultaneously. And in the fall of 2008, we launched North America. Now, North America was launched with one component and one component only. In 2009, they introduced the shopping mall, and in those days, the shopping mall was only an affiliate program, nothing compared to what it is today. In 2010, they introduced the entertainment division. 2011 was the customer acquisition component. 2012, they added the travel component. 2013, to the early part of this year, they spent that time integrating all of the pieces, all of the parts into a single global business model deliverable to roughly 200 countries in multiple currencies, multiple languages. Completely seamless. An incredible feat when you think about it to be able to do in that short period of time. Now, DubLi is a publicly traded company. Their headquarters is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. They also have a headquarters in Berlin, Germany, and as well as a headquarters in Dubai and the United Arab Emirates. So basically, we're talking about an 11-year-old company, a company that's gone through those first 5 years or more that most companies never get through to make sure that they can survive and they have the stability to get to where they're at today. So that's a little bit of the history on the company. Now let's talk about the people behind the scenes. Now, I mentioned that DubLi is a publicly traded company, and as such, they have a board of directors. Now, the chairman of the board is Blas Moros. Blas comes from Microsoft. He's credited with being Microsoft's 5th most important individual in their history. He's responsible for a lot of their international expansion, especially through Central South America as well as China and some of the Pacific Rim areas. Lester Rosenkrantz, also on the board of directors. Now, Lester's been instrumental in assisting a number of companies that moved from the private sector into the public sector. David Sassnet, also on the board of directors. David was a CFO for a NASDAQ publicly traded company. He's been instrumental in ensuring that the business model for DubLi is a sound, financially sound business model, both for the stockholders, the shareholders, as well as for the consumer side of the business. Michael Hansen is the founder. He's the individual who came up with the concept for DubLi. He's the president, chief executive officer. So that's kind of the brain trust, if you will, that's behind the scenes. Now, on the operations side, what DubLi has done over the years is they've gone out and they've sourced the best people for the respective jobs. Now, they've hired people from Microsoft and Groupon and Living Social and some of the big companies to make sure they got the right people in these jobs. This is everybody from Eric Nelson, who's the chief financial officer, to Rick Daglow, who's the chief technology officer, and Rick comes from Microsoft. Rich Robeson, who's the customer support, the head of customer support. He headed up one of the nation's largest customer support groups, Vicky Carla, who came from one of the largest travel groups globally, as a matter of fact. So again, they've taken the time to make sure They got the right people in the right place to bring together the best management team that they can, and it took them some time to get here to ensure that DubLi has what it needs to sustain a long-term business that will be built on a global basis. So there's a little bit of the timeline, the history, the people behind it, and then the third component, most important component, is really what is the offering to the public. And the reason that we say that's the most important piece, because if you want a long-term business, if you want a business that's going to give to you residual income day in, day out, year in, year out, whether you're working or not working, you've got to have a business with a retail customer willing to spend pure retail dollar for your product or service with no vested interest in your business or even knowledge that there's a business opportunity attached. And DubLi has done just that. Now, the shopping mall is a component, and everything I'm showing you on what we call the retail side of the business, this is DubLi.com, is absolutely free to our customers, totally free. They just put in their name, email address, and they have access to everything I was showing you. So on the shopping mall side, it's one of the largest in the world. Every major brand you can think of. I don't care if you're talking about Target, Nordstrom, Kmart, Lord & Taylor. If you're talking about Apple products, whatever, they're all here. If you're looking at the travel side, whether you're talking to the big boys, as they call them, Expedia, Travelocity, Orbiz, Booking.com, Hotels.com, Hertz, Ava, again, every single one is here. And by the way, folks, this is on a global basis. It doesn't matter where a customer logs in from, whatever country they log in from, whatever the major search engines are available for them in their country, they have access to them directly through DubLi. So they give the best deal, the best price, the best of the best. And here's even better news for you. The customers, if they happen to have a registration with one of the vendors, whether it's with Travelocity, Expedia, whether it's with Target stores, whether it's with whoever it is, if they get discounts, if they get coupons, if they get upgrades, whatever they get best deal, best price, whatever they have directly from these same suppliers. It doesn't matter whose credit card they use. If they use a credit card that gives them cash back, frequent flyer miles, they get it all. They get absolutely everything. And on top of that, DubLi pays them cash back on the best deal, the best price delivered to their home. They can't get going direct to exactly the same source doing the same thing unless they come through DubLi. In addition to that, we've got the finance and insurance and telecom, all of the majors, everybody you can think of, AT&T, Vonage, T-Mobile, State Farm, you name it again, they're all here. And this is the base. This is the foundation. This is where DubLi wanted to be to get to, so that what we will talk about here towards the end of this presentation is the end game for DubLi, in other words, where they're going to go. Now, as I mentioned, everything I just showed you to the customer is absolutely free. But we also have some memberships if a customer so chooses to engage with. We have what we call our premium membership. Now, the premium customer pays $4.95 a month on a month-to-month basis. Now, they get absolutely everything that a free customer gets, and plus there's a lot of other additional benefits they get as a premium customer. Plus, they get an additional 4% cash back on top of the free on every single dollar they pay, no matter where they shop. And that is paid annually, just like the Costco model. And I use Costco as an example because my wife and I have our own corporate Costco card. And at the end of the year, it costs us $135, and at the end of the year, we get 2% cash back. And so, but it doesn't get us anything from any other store. So here we have $4.95 a month, call it $5 a month, $60 a year, and the customer gets an additional flat 4% every dollar you spend. Doesn't matter, Target, Walmart, Kmart, Nordstrom, Expedia, Travelocity, Hotels.com, you name it, and it's paid cash back to the consumer. It is an amazing offering to the consumer that I've not seen available anywhere else to anybody else. Now, we also have what we call our VIP customers. They pay $99 a year. It's a one-time fee. Now, they get everything that a free customer gets, plus they get also a lot of the benefits that a premium customer gets, but they get an additional 6%, not 4%, but 6% cash back on top of the free percentage. And the free percentage from vendor to vendor will vary because the vendors pay a different rate, but they get a flat 6% on top of it, but that 6% is paid monthly just as the free is, so they don't have to wait 1 year as a premium customer will get. So the premium customers, the VIP customers, have some significant benefits and advantages for the memberships. The VIP customers also have an advantage in that if they refer another individual who chooses to become a VIP customer, DubLi will compensate them $20 as a way of saying thank you for the referral of somebody that became a VIP customer. So DubLi is actually compensating our customers on our behalf to help us develop and continue to build additional customers. So again, it's an amazing offering that DubLi has. The VIP customers also get some specials and benefits with priority pass discounts and world golf cards and access to golf courses at prices they normally would never even have access to, and sports events 365 to events and tickets that sometimes are not even available. So again, our VIP members have a significant advantage over anybody else that is out there doing exactly the same thing they're doing every single day of their lives. So today, this is the foundation. This is the base. This is where we wanted to be as a company, to be able to have this in place so that everything else that comes now is going to be an added value to the consumer. Now, let's change gears here a little bit, because again, in terms for this presentation, I wanted you to have a little bit of history on the company. I wanted you to know who the management team is behind the scenes. It was very important that you understand the offering to the consumer. And then the third piece is what is in it for those of us who've chosen to engage in the business. Now, what DubLi has done is they have taken all the pieces, everything that we would need to be able to run a global, seamless business as long as we got a laptop on our phone, and all the tools that are there, everything to do it, whether we're talking about internet marketing, whether we're talking about any kind of promotion, however we choose to build our business is up to us, and all the tools are made available to us. Now, the only thing that we do on the business side, we all pay a $99 registration fee that allows us to have access to everything that we need to be able to build our global business. Now, we have products available to us as business associates that will fit our business plans, because every individual that comes to DubLi comes with an idea, a concept. Why are they here? What is it that you want from your business? And it's not any more different than any other business that somebody would start to want to get involved in. They have a business plan, they have a goal, they have an idea of what they want to do. And so these products are made available to fit those particular business plans. One of the products is what we call our membership voucher package. It's $495. Now, there's a variety of VIP memberships. I'm going to speak specifically of the VIP only. For $495, it includes 5 of the 1-year VIP membership vouchers. Now, those are the ones that are $99. So the reality is this: if somebody was to go out and actually sell those 5 vouchers to their VIP to customers and become VIP customers, that's basically $500 back. They got back what they spent to start their business. Reality is they're going to use one for themselves to sell the other 4 off, but it includes the product. That's one way to get started. It fits a business model, a business plan for an individual based on what they want to do. Now, another product that we have available to us is what we call our TLA package. This is our Team Leader Accelerator package. Now, this is a very specific product for a very specific type of individual. This is not designed specifically for an individual that just wants to go build a business. This is designed for 2 people. One is individuals that want to work what we call our partner program. Now, the partner program is a standalone business model that DubLi has. It's for both profit and nonprofit companies. And what they do is they want to form a partnership with DubLi to take and develop a co-branded website, DubLi.com site. Everything I just showed you that's available to the customer is going to be available to them. The difference is DubLi's logo comes off the top, their logo goes there, DubLi handles everything for them, runs everything for them. They derive a 30% commission on all the commissionable revenue generated by their database. It's a perfect way for those types of companies to monetize their database. If somebody wants to market to that sector of the business, this is a great way for them to get started. It's $2,475. It includes the $99 membership that we all need to pay. It includes 15 of the 1-year VIP membership vouchers, so there's $1,500 worth of product there. It also includes 100 one-month trial VIP membership vouchers, so that's another $250 worth of product there. And it includes the certification training required to be able to market to the partner programs. Now, the certification training is $995. It's included here, so there's no extra cost. And so this would be a package that the individual that wants to do that is going to start with. They also will start at what we call a team leader status, which means they're going to be able to earn a little bit more income in the very beginning as their business gets started. The second kind of individual that will select this package are generally business people that have been very, very successful. They've made a lot of money. They know how to run a business. It doesn't matter what their line of endeavor is, but they're the kind of individuals that like to move very, very fast. They want to move through our business model as quick as they can, get to the top, so that as the business matures and grows, as it must, then they maximize the income and they leave less money on the table, if you will. And they will select this package as well. And I'm going to explain to you why they will do that as we go through the compensation plan here in a moment or so. Another product that we have, also very, very specialized, and I do stress very, very specialized. This is our Platinum TLA package. This is designed only for those individuals that know without a doubt that they have contacts, they have owners, decision makers in the for-profit part of the world, that they know they'll have at least one individual for sure that will want to engage with DubLi and have a co-branded partner program site. Now, they get all the same products as the other TLA package up here in the top. It's all identical. Certification training is included. They also get, though, what is called a partner program registration voucher. Now, that voucher is $6,995. For a profit company to engage with DubLi and market the partner program, it costs them $6,995 up front, one-time fee. Then they pay $499 a month. And on an annual basis, that's $5,988. This is all included in this package. And why I say it's a specialized package designed only for those people that know they have at least one individual that'll want to, or one company that want to enroll, is because they can make them an offer. And they can say, here's what we're going to do. We'll give you the first year of maintenance for free. So they're going to give them basically $6,000 in value, true value to the company for free. And that company is going to pay $6,995, call it $7,000. So they're going to get $7,000 back. The company got a great deal because they got $6,000 in expenses for the year for free. The business associate only paid $6,000 for the package, and he still has all the retail products here that when he sells off, also becomes more profit. So this is for that individual only. And then the other package we have is what is called the TLA Elite package. Again, specialized only for those individuals that know without a doubt they have a huge database within the for-profit world. They know they've got at least 3 individuals that will want a partner program. Same situation that I just described before. The difference is here, they're going to sell those 3 registration vouchers for basically $21,000. They're giving away the annual maintenance fee for the partner, so it's a great deal for them. They spent $12, they're going to get back roughly $21. They got the cost dollar back. They got a $9,000 profit, plus the profit will come from these other products. Very, very specialized. I want to really emphasize that for those individuals that know they have that kind of a contact base. Now, regardless of what package we start with, the only real requirement any of us really have is we're in the customer acquisition business. That's what we do with DubLi, all of us. And as we build our business, we're building, obviously, with some business associates, but the idea is also that we're building a consumer base. And so the expectation from the company for us to stay in good stead with them is that we will enroll at least 1 VIP customer a month. Just 1. That's it. Now, 1 VIP customer means it's 1 VIP voucher. It's a $99 voucher per month. We do that, and we stay in good standing with the company. Everything is great. Not a problem. That's the only thing that we do above and beyond the package that we select and we choose. Now, let's talk a little bit about the compensation plan. We have 2 sources of income. One is off the retail side, through DubLi.com, that's personal customers and referred customers, and then the other is off of the customers in an organization, a business that we build. So let's start with the DubLi.com site. Now, this is designed to show an example, and that is this. This is a business associate here that has a friend that lives across the street who becomes a customer with DubLi. Now, this customer has a brother in the military who's stationed in Germany, who also he refers to becomes a customer, who has a friend of his in the military that is now stationed in Japan, becomes a customer, who has a friend of his that just got out of the military and is now living in California, who became a customer, who has a brother that lives in Wisconsin, became a customer, and has a sister that lives in Texas, became a customer. So in other words, all of these people, the business associate has no idea who they are. But DubLi will treat them all as if the business associate personally enrolled every single one of them. So the business associate is going to earn a commission on every single transaction generated by all of these people, no matter where they're at, anywhere in the world. An incredible way for us to build a very significant personal income just off a personal customer. So this is source number 1. The second source is off the business building side, a consumer base that gets developed with an organization that we build. Now, we have the ability on that second source of income to earn an additional 5 to as much as 27.5% on every commissionable transaction generated by our organization's customer base. And so when an individual starts, for example, at the $495 package, they're given the title of what we call a team member. They're at the entry-level position on the business building site, so they're at the very, very beginning. As such, they will earn a 5% commission on all the products and services bought by any of the individuals that are enrolling in the business and all the transactions generated by their customers. When they have personally enrolled at least three personally enrolled who also have the title of team member, in other words, they came in with a $495, they get their first promotion to team leader. As a team leader, they pick up an additional 5%, so their aggregate total income capability is now 10%. Now, I refer to our compensation plan as a differential, meaning we get paid the difference between what we're entitled to at our rank and what the people in our business are entitled to at their rank. So this individual in this example is entitled to 10. These folks are entitled to 5. The difference between 10 and 5 is 5. So this individual that's a team leader will earn 5% all the products and services by all the additional people coming into the business over here and all of the transactions being generated by their customers. They will earn 10% on any new business that they start, and then they will earn 5% on a business that matures and grows, so that you get kind of a feel for how the differential starts to work. Had somebody selected either any of those TLA packages, they would have actually started here and earned 10% even on the first few people that they enroll. So in other words, they're going to get a jump start on income really quick out of the gate. But I'm going to go through the compensation plan as we would build it naturally, or what I call organically, so you get kind of a feel for how this works. Now what we're going to do is we're going to help these three individuals duplicate exactly the same process this individual did. We're going to help them enroll their three personally enrolled individual team members, so that they too will get a promotion of what we call team leader, just as this individual did. When that happens, this individual will get another promotion of what we call team coordinator. Now, the differential between a team coordinator and a team leader is still 5%, because the team coordinator picks up an additional 5, so his aggregate total capabilities is 15. 15 minus 10 is 5, but now there's more people coming in over here, more products and services being bought, more consumers being brought into the business, more transactions being generated, so the team coordinator income is growing. Team coordinator will earn 15% on new business he starts, 10% on that business as it matures and grows. When it becomes a team leader organization, he will earn 5% on it as it continues to grow and mature. So again, you get a feel for how the differential works. Now, if we take it one step further and we help these three individuals, each one of them have 3 personally enrolled. So now we're going to help their 3 personally enrolled duplicate the process so that they become team leaders. When that happens, these 3 individuals will get a promotion to team coordinator, just as this individual did. And when that happens, this individual gets another promotion, what we call a sales director. As a sales director, he picks up another 5%. His aggregate total capability now is at 20%. The differential between a sales director and a team coordinator is still 5, because it's 20 minus 15. But now the numbers are getting much larger. There's more and more people coming into the business, more customers coming into the business, more transactions being generated, and the sales directors have the ability to make a very, very nice income. They're going to earn 20% of new business they start, 15% of that business matures and grows, it becomes a team leader, the differential will be 10, and you can see how it continues to move along those lines. Now, most sales directors in our business, when they achieve the rank of sales director, will have between a low of 50 to as many as 300 people in their organization. If we lived in a perfect world, which we do not, you could actually get to sales director with 39 people, because if you came in at 495, you enrolled 3 with 495, you're a team leader, the 3 enroll their 3 for 9 more, you become a team coordinator, the 9 enroll their 3 for 27 more, you're sales director with 27 people, again, in a perfect world where we don't live. Now, if you used the TLA package, and this is why this is something that the successful business people, it's one of the individuals that would use this and take advantage of it, is they would come in with the TLA package, they're the team leader, they enroll 3 people who selected the TLA package, 2475 package, the team coordinator with 3 people, help those 3 enroll 3 for 9 more who selected the TLA package, your sales director with a team of 12. Again, in a perfect world, which we don't live in. So it's 12, 39, or the normal progress is 50 to 300. So just an idea on why people would select that package and how they can take advantage of it. Because they maximize their income by getting to the top position as quick as they can. But also understand this, just because you have a title doesn't mean you're making a great deal of income. It's all based on what we do as an organization and the consumers that we put into the business. Now, the next promotion from sales director is what we call vice president. This is where it'll change a little bit. Vice president needs to have a minimum of 5 sales teams. Someplace in each one of the sales teams needs to be a sales director. Now, they don't need to be personally enrolled, but when they're there, you've got 5 separate sales teams or a sales director in each one of them. You get the promotion to vice president. You pick up another 5%, so now your aggregate total capabilities is 25%. The differential between a vice president and a sales director is still 5% because it's 25 minus 20. But now you're talking about a very significant size organization. Vice presidents make a very handsome income, very handsome income. And so it's a great position to want to strive to get to, because when you talk about a business of this size, and then you look at the consumer base being brought on by those individuals that are part of the business, you're talking about the ability to have a very, very significant residual income capabilities. Vice presidents will earn 25% on new business they start, 20% on the business matures and grows. When it becomes a team leader, it's 15%. So again, you get kind of a feel for how the differential works. The very top position in our business is what we call senior vice presidents. Same basic structure, a minimum of 5 sales teams. Someplace in each sales team needs to be a vice president. Again, they do not need to be personally enrolled. When that happens, you get your promotion to senior vice president. You pick up an additional 2.5%. That's where that 27.5 comes from. The differential between a senior vice president and a vice president is only 2.5%. But folks, let me tell you something. Senior vice presidents have massive organizations. They make very, very handsome income. They have a good life. They have a good life. Let's put it that way. And so, you know, it's the pinnacle within our compensation plan. They make 27.5% of new business. Team member organization is going to make 22.5% as it continues to grow and mature. And again, the differential works exactly the same way across the board for everything. But DubLi also knows, as in the traditional world, when you find good leaders, what we would call good management people, even though we're talking about field positions, you take care of them. You do that in the traditional corporate world. DubLi does it here as well. And so DubLi has an area called DubLi Beach Golf Resort, and it's in the Grand Caymans. It has an area available for 500 vice presidents and senior vice presidents. And so there's a process by which DubLi will recognize and reward leaders. And when I say leaders, these are individuals that have achieved the vice president, senior vice president position. And the only way that you get there is by taking care of an organization. You've learned to teach, you learn to train people, you learn to guide them, you're helping an organization. And those leadership qualities are the types of qualities that DubLi wants to make sure they keep close. And the best way to do that is by creating, in the traditional corporate world, that'd be called golden handcuffs, or, you know, your golden parachute, or whatever you want to call it. But here, it's a lot of the Grand Caymans with a villa built on it. And if you achieve the rank of senior vice president in 2.5 years, the whole thing is free to you. The lot, the villa, all of it's free to you. But if you reach vice president in a year, you're going to be able to achieve the lot for free. And then, you know, as you continue to build and you become a vice president and above, this is a place for you. And even if you're going to build your own there, if you happen not to achieve the senior vice president in 2.5 years, the construction costs that have been made available by DubLi through another company they're affiliated with are incredibly low. You can have a beautiful, beautiful resort villa of your own on the Grand Caymans. It's a place called Rum Point. It's right across the bay from the Ritz-Carlton. The most inexpensive lot on the Ritz-Carlton on the golf course, in DubLi Golf Beach and Resort, obviously going to have their own golf course. The least expensive is somewhere between $3 and $5 million. So it's a great bonus, if you will, for an individual that shows leadership quality and builds an organization and achieves the top position. Now, let me kind of pull this together and recap this to you in this format. DubLi is creating a very, very unique business model. DubLi knows a couple of things that come from the reports that the so-called experts in e-commerce have been reporting about for the last 5 years or longer. And that is what people have historically done, spending money on gasoline, their time, their energy, driving and going from place to place to place. They will do online, or already are doing online, depending on the country they live in. Now, this is going to include everything from their children's education, how they source and pay for health insurance, life insurance, across the board. If it can be done online, it will be done online, even to the respect that at some juncture, people will be willing to watch a commercial or a product and service that they're truly interested in, be compensated for it. Think about that for a moment. But they will not go to 10, 20, 30 websites to do that. They will only do it in communities where they feel safe and secure, communities that are fun and exciting, and communities that bring them something of value they cannot get going direct, doing exactly the same thing with the same suppliers, buying the same product at the same price or even cheaper. So what we said to the consumer is this: do what you do every day of your life. Buy from the same stores, same service companies, same products. We're not asking you to change anything. Do it online. Do it through us. See if we can help you get it at a better price, a convenient way of buying an experience that you will enjoy. And if we can do that, you will use us. And if we can't, you won't. That's an amazing way to build a business versus trying to convince somebody to buy your product because it's a new formulation, it's cheaper, stronger, faster, taller than somebody else's, or whatever the sales pitch is. We are bringing value to families, and we will be compensated beyond our wildest dreams for being of service to families. You see, this will create a revenue stream unprecedented. Think about the banks and the credit card companies that issue credit cards. They make billions of dollars annually on credit card transaction fees. Do you think for a second they care where you use your credit card? And the answer is no. They just want you using the credit card they issued because they get the transaction fees. They will ask DubLi the same question over the next 12, 18, 24 months. Do we care where people go on the internet? And the answer will be no. We want them coming through us first, then they can go do whatever they want to do, because every transaction that they generate will be commissionable to us, but it will bring value to them and their families. That means we have the ability to create a revenue stream unprecedented that cannot be generated in what would be called a single vertical selling environment. This is a global transactional community that is going to be unique. My belief is, just as there were books written on Sam Walton and on Walmart, and on how Walmart changed the dynamics of the public forever, there will be books written on this model, and again on how a company called DubLi has changed the dynamics of the public on a global basis forever. For me, it's a pleasure, it's a privilege to be able to talk about what I call the DubLi story. I want to thank you for the time that you've allowed me to share this with you. Please get back to invited you on the presentation. Our job, our goal, is to make sure that you have all the facts, all the information that you need to make a good decision. So if you've got questions, get back to invited you on the presentation. Let us get your questions answered so that you can make a good decision for yourself and your family. Whatever decision it is, God bless, it's your decision. We just have to make sure that we did our jobs in giving that information professionally. Again, thank you very much. My name is Dean Manheimer. Have a wonderful evening.